You're welcome back, homie. You're welcome back, huh? You're welcome back, my G. Welcome back, homie. Listen, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I walk out here, I have no idea what I'm going to say. I have nothing planned. I have so much other shit going on in my life. Not really anymore. I've gotten past a lot of the burdens and the hurdles and all the problems that I was facing in the immediate future just a month ago. And now I have a better account with more money because of strict professional trading, not pie in the sky bullshit, going to the moon or I'm never going anywhere else type of attitude that everybody seems to have nowadays. Now, I'm a little bit riled up because everybody on the goddamn boards, everyone and their mother, they're just pumping the shit out of every stock nonstop, and they act like I'm the bad guy. It's unreal. What I'm telling you is something that's been tried and tried over and over and over again. Would you rather go to, if somebody said, well, I'll pay you $2,000 a day, every work day, for the rest of your life, or you can go down to the local Sunoco, grab a roll of fucking lottery tickets, and pray to God you hit one in a bill? You're going to take the $2,000 a day, just like anybody with a brain. But see, that's the thing is most people in the OTC do not have an IQ over 80. I'm not lying to you. It's unreal what these people do. That's why I got to stop, interacting. It's just a waste of my time. It's time to walk away from that, post what I'm going to post, but don't even look at what they wrote back because I'm aggressive. And I know that any of these fucks that are in this shit, talking shit on the computer, I would murk them. I might be a little bit shorter, but I'm jacked on a strict diet right now. I mean, and I got a neck. I'm short and sturdy. I got a neck. Only time I've ever been knocked out, gang fight in Camden. Somebody was getting jumped, one of my friends, jump in. I don't even really remember it that much because I got a fucking tree branch to the back of the dome, knocked out cold. I was actually standing up at the time and I fell face first, knocked out cold into the pavement because it was in a parking lot in Camden. And I get my face scraped on the ground, ripped my entire face off. And the saltiest part about it was that night I had I was in just out of college sometime, or not just out of college, just out of high school. It was, I didn't go to college, but it was in between that time, and I go to her place, and I'd been trying to hook up with her for like a year, and it was like set up for that night, and I showed up looking like Freddy. I looked like I was a burn victim in 9/11. Like I jumped out of the building and survived. That's what my face looked like. And I was still trying to grab. I was like, yo, and she was like, bro, go to the hospital. You need emergency surgery. What are you doing? And then after that, it was like, it just put a bad taste in her mouth. And I was like, yes, killing it. I should have just came up with an excuse, but I was just like, must have sex. So listen, that's the whole moral of the story is I'm not gonna be able to fight these people. If I could, I would, but there's nothing I can do. It's never gonna happen that way. It's always just gonna be a name on a screen. I gotta stop letting these people get to me, just trade how I trade. And it's just so annoying when you're making money hand over fist and people are calling you cheeseburger Eddie. It's an oxymoron. If I was buying cheeseburgers and beer with my gains this week, I could buy an entire farm, an entire brewery. So just stop with the nonsense, all right? Don't even at me. Don't message me because I'm never responding again. I don't have time for you. Do your bullshit. You're the person at 5 a.m. in a casino sitting there like chain smoking cigs down to his last dime pulled out of the ATM like, this'll be the big one. The big one's coming, I swear to God. Oh, it's gonna be the big one. And you've been there since you were like a kid and you're 98. Everybody knows your name. Oh yeah, that guy, yeah, dude. He's in and out of homelessness 24/7. He comes in here like he's a hot shot, talking how he got the big one. He got that big one, boy. He comes in here talking a bunch of shit, but he always seems to never have anything. Well, that's because he's a liar. And all those people that are saying, oh, I'm fucking in since shit won and I'm still holding. If you are, you're an idiot. And you got lucky if you're actually in at that price. So sell the damn stock. Make your life-changing money 1 in a billion, and I'll make my 7K a week on average at this point. So, and if that's not a lot of money to you, who are you? The Prince of fucking Dubai? That $7,000 a week is what, 28 grand a month? That's doctor money, idiot. What are you talking? Like, you're sitting on your ass making $7,000 a week. I got to get off of this. But for all you haters out there, do whatever you want because I'm never going to respond to you again. Anyway, here's TPTW. So hopefully I'm standing in the right position. Got to remember to do this. And hopefully it's focused on me, especially when I showed my abs for the ladies out there. The 2 of them that out of the 507 that watch my page. What am I doing? Here we go. No. Come on. I don't want to take too much time with this. I could always edit it out, but that takes like an hour. Okay, there it is. All right. Let's pray that this is the correct size. That looks like it. All right. So, TPTW. Again, here's another example of how listen, before back in the day when I was a shit trader, I would always get in a run like I had yesterday where I buy it and the next day it's up 60%, whatever it is. I catch the bottom and then it's very easy to buy the stock. It's harder to sell it. That's why, especially when you're on the boards and everybody's like, hold for gold, diamond hands, all idiots. They're going to get you to try and hold the stock because they're degenerate gamblers. Don't be like them. Sell it and be willing to not sell the top. Like the top was at 7.6. I sold my money in my account pretty high when it was at 7.6. And I was like, oh, this is going to look real good at 9. But then this morning, I read someone's post and I saw them say, yeah, this is at least going to shave off 10%. And I was like, yeah, you know what? They didn't file last night. No new news has come out. It was up 60% on air. I'm out. I don't give a shit what happens throughout the day. I'm taking what's left over of my $5,000 gain and I'm putting it in the bank. Again, a 3-day trade, $5,000, that's money. So put it in the bank in the morning, took that money, got into Cint right away, and now that's up. So TPTW is down, but Cint is up. So I took it out higher than where it closed in the morning on TPTW, and then I bought into something that was trading a little bit better at that point, that wasn't exhausted on the technicals, that wasn't already up 60% in a day. So what did I have to? I had to take a little bit of a loss in the morning, $500. I was like, well, I'm not going to get everything I could have got, but it's better to just take the money now and realize the gain than to sit there and try and make as much as I possibly can. Get it? So I dumped it and it worked out. That's the thing. It doesn't. If it would have went to 9 today, that's fine. You got to just live with that, eat with that. It doesn't matter what's going to happen because it's already in stone and there's nothing you can do about it. So this is the chart on TPTW. Obviously, you had the big run, you had the fall back, then you had the orange line pop. That's what I was looking at. You could see how it comes back to respect that orange line, kind of like a young son to his father who's abusive and beats him with like very sharp objects, like beats them with sharp objects just to scare him a little bit more. Like this guy is a freak of nature. He's an absolute, he's like the worst person on earth. The youngest son would respect him greatly because he doesn't want to get beaten with a knife. Now, he's in his cage all day, sure. But at the same time, when he's allowed out to eat his meal of Dinty Moore beef stew, he respects his father. Now, that's what's happening in most of these stocks is they are respecting this orange line like they were a caged kid under the wing of an extremely degenerate father. That's the best way I know in my personal experience how to explain it to you. No, not personal experience like my father did that to me, but at the same time, you could probably think that by the way I dress up and act a fool on these videos. So you make up your mind. I'm not going to delve into it further. No, my dad's a G. But either way, that's TPTW. You have the MACD. It's whatever. Your technicals are bullshit. I've already talked about this long enough. I got to keep going. SEII. You can tell I'm tired when I'm going off on tangents that like make no sense, and my brain like can't really come up with the words right away. If I'm fresh and I've had a lot of sleep, I can usually roll shit off my tongue real quick, but like when I'm tired, forget about it. All right, let's see. We want to zoom in on that. You can't really see much on this chart realistically. It's just a shitty chart. Some of these things pop up like this, and I don't care because I look at different charts. I'll figure out how to do it for you guys. But SEII, it did have a green candle. Looks like a little bit of a reversal today. You can't really see it by this chart, but I would say SEII, I mean, it's super thin. They just need to drop news. It's waiting on news. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. XCPL, this is a stock that absolutely got murdered. And it's still getting murdered. I was looking at it today, like, should I buy in? Should I buy in? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, bro. This thing is getting tanked hard. I mean, let me zoom out a bit on this. And in a little bit more. I mean, you're so oversold. Your technicals actually look really good. Like, you have the MACD all the way, like, just pushing the bottom. I mean, I can't really see it going much lower than this. This is one that, listen, they destroyed all shareholder confidence. Like usually you can get a few people that are going to be like, no, it's still going to do it. Dude, they put out a shareholder letter and it did absolutely nothing but hurt the price even more. That's like really bad. And all the CEO keeps talking about is like, no, it's not people dumping. There's no way. There's no change to the OS. And that's the other thing, backstabbed or whatever on XCPL. Stop, dude, stop. Like, it's when you're caught in a bag, it's like people can tell, especially when you start saying like, the CEO's not dumping, and they're dumping like 600 million shares a day into massive bids. Bro, it's the company dumping. Like, Like, if it's not the company, it's somebody. Who do you think it is? Johnny, Joe, and Schmo that live in fucking Alabama? Shut up. What are you talking about? Obviously. Now, sorry if I, again, come off aggressive, but at the same time, you need to learn this shit. Like, you need it beaten into your head because you're not listening. You're not listening. Of course. What do you think? OTC, what do you think this is the law of the damn land on OTC markets just because it doesn't balloon on the S&P? What do you think they don't know how to do this with their lawyers from the 2% and their back? Of course they do. They're masters of it. Next one. COSM, still going, kind of. It's losing strength. Like, I mean, it's going to have to. Believe it or not, stocks don't just go straight up. Now, you could call today consolidation. You could call it whatever you want to call it. All I know is that's great. Like, people think, oh, that you have such you're so mad because you didn't get in. Dog, you know how many stocks run every day? I don't need to be in every stock that runs. This was a good one. People made money on this one, and that's great. There's going to be the people that hold it forever and they end up coming all the way back down to 20 cents and they're going to be like, why did I listen to that guy that was telling me to have diamond hands when it was at 80 and I was up 500% on my money with 50 grand in the bank? And I said, well, I want to go for 100 grand because the greed was pouring out of my eyes. But that guy is an idiot. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Time in, time out. This is how you trade. You have to fucking sell as good as you buy. Because a lot of you traders are very good at buying. You can buy all day, you go green all the time, but for some reason you keep holding and it comes right back to your average and you're like, why do I suck? This is why. Selling is very hard. Do it. If you're in COSM and you're up huge and you don't sell, you're gonna regret it because there's gonna be a chance to buy a lot lower. And I don't want to hear the bragging of, oh, I bought it up 0001 and now it's back to 40 from $1. But, I'm the man. I'm like, dog, you should have sold it, though. What are you bragging about? You haven't even made any money yet. You're still in paper gains. These people brag like they're up like 400 grand. If they were, so be it. It's a number on a screen until you sell the stock. And what happens half the time is like what happened in TCDA, which is, the next one I just want to show you guys because this is what happens. What is it? TCDA? I mean, let me zoom out here. This is what happens, okay? I don't know. This is what happens, okay? 94% drop off. I'm sure there was plenty of people in that stock like, this is the next big thing. And then they just get fucking plowed. Dry, like super dry, like desert dry, like just sand on the tip dry. So, do whatever you want, but this is how you this is catastrophe, and it happens more often than it doesn't. So, do your thing, man. But that's what happens. TDCA, absolute, like, catastrophe. CGRA. Now, I bought this one today. My average is in very low threes. You'd think I'd be like, oh, yeah. No, like, all right, dude, whatever. It's a tweet pump. Sick, dude. No, it's a very thin stock, and people were craving it. Also, it came out of nowhere. It came out midday. So, it's not like I saw it immediately. Just because I had bought like 10,000 shares, literally nothing, like $200 worth, just to follow it to see where it went. Because I was thinking it was coming back to 18. It would have if it didn't come out with that tweet pump today. So once I saw that, I was like, oh shit, it's moving. Nobody's realized this yet. Let me get in. Let me buy some like a nicer chunk. So I did in low threes, and then boom, it runs to 4 or 5. That's great. Listen, it's a tweet pump, bro. Like all it is just a CEO being like, all right, there could be a change of control this week. Is there going to be a change of control this week? Could be. If they do, then you are going to see a massive run in this. And that's great. I'll hop back on the train. People act like once you get off, you can't buy higher. Sure, you might not make the max gain, but you are consistently pulling cash from the market, not letting it pull it from you. You have to keep the market in front of you. Treat it like a fucking competition, because that's what it is. You are fighting other people. There's a lot of dumbasses. Take their money. Take their money. Stop listening to them and rob them. That's what trading is. It's a bunch of idiots believing in the goddamn moon, and I'm just, again, in space, like, $2,000. $2,000. Just out of their pockets while they're like, moon boy! And I'm just like, give me that. Give me that. And then I just swim back to Earth, like, and I land, and I have my beautiful wife and my children, 9 children. And we have a farm with acreage, and we live our life. Well, everybody that I'm taking money from will never land on the moon. They'll eventually run out of oxygen and crash back down into the atmosphere, and that's what me and my 9 children look at night. We say, oh, there's another one. They're just shooting stars out of the sky, spontaneously combusting into thin air, straight into the core of hell. And me and my sons are just like, hey, boy, watch these. Now, see? And I'm just teaching them lessons. That's what the original astronomers did. That's what they were viewing the heavens, just looking at moon boys falling back down to Earth at incredible rates of speed that's making them burst into flame. So just don't do it. Don't follow that method, because you will not win over time. This is about longevity, not the daily. Whew. Boxes. Another one that's getting toasted. Down 35. Jesus Christ. I mean, not really much. Again, people were probably buying up here thinking, it looks a lot like a flag that wanted to break out, and then they gave you a false breakout, opened it up 50, 60% down, and there's nothing you can do about that, dude. You just have to cut a loss. If you didn't, you're down even more now, which that's what happens. People start to lose a little bit of money, and they're like, well, I want that much more back. I want that. I have my account at this. Stop focusing on that. Because you got to take what the market gives you. You're not giving the market doesn't need anything from you except for your money. So take what it gives you and don't get greedy. So a lot of people probably were like, oh, you know, you don't have diamond hands up here. And whoever sold up there actually avoided catastrophe. So this is another example of just having your hands tied, not being able to do anything, and boom, you tank to the fucking core of the earth. I don't know what's going on in the stock. It's probably a reverse split scare. I would assume that's what tends to make these things do this. The TCDA was a failed drug. There could be anything that comes out at any time. So don't ignore the red flags, because I'm sure this one had them. But yeah, your technicals are there's nothing really cute about this one. I don't even want it. I'm just giving you an example of what can happen if you're not diligent. GST, or let's do KBLB. This is a dilutive, very dilutive. I don't care what any of you say. I'm going to tell the truth and only the truth, so help me God. What is it? KBLB. Come on, man. Wait. No, it's not KBLB. Even though that chart looks pretty good, but it's overbought. What is the one I'm looking at here, fellas? Is this it? No. KLBL, whatever. I'm not doing that one. Sorry. But it ran a little bit today, whatever. EEGI. I was eyeing this one today, and I thought, nah. It's up way too much money. It's got a good bid underneath it. There was a huge bid at 1. 11s were going, and I almost hit it for like 3 million shares just to see what happens. Because, on the boards, everybody said it was going to 2, and I'm like, nah, it doesn't have it. I looked at the I zoomed out a bit, and I'm just like, nah, this is exhausted. And it is. I mean, your MACD is exhausted. Your RSI is pushing way into the power zone. It's just a change of control. Again, I mean, these things tend to run. This is exactly what I think it's going to look like in fucking CGRA tomorrow. You get this huge candle. I hope I'm pointing at it, but you have the huge green candle. And then the next day it goes up a little bit more, and then they tank it. Or they start to pull back. Then the next day you don't get anything that comes out. Then you have a delay in whatever they said they were going to do from the tweet pump. And then all of a sudden you're back at your average and you're like, what the fuck, man? Or they come out with what they say they're going to come out with, and it creates an extreme spree. And guess what? You buy it back. It's like, you can't touch it after you sell it? Bank the gain and revisit it. Oh, man, people out there, just the IQ levels. Now, I got to give a shout out to CGRA, my boy, Moneybags Clay. He is a little bit of a pumpy boy, but at the same time, he's like the man. He's a nice guy. I actually talked to him on the phone multiple times. He knows runners. He picks a lot of really good 100%ers consistently. I don't know. I'm surprised he's not a millionaire yet, because I actually do know him, and he does tend to get to the money. I think he holds a little bit too long. Hopefully you're doing better out there. Moneybags Clay, he's the man. Not that he was doing bad a while ago, but I'm just saying, like, hopefully he's making money and everything's going good for him. Shout out to Clay. He's the best guy on that board. Everybody else can eat a bag of dicks. I don't care. Say whatever you want. I don't care. PRDL. Now this is one, GSTC. I mean, you're done, bro. You're done. Sell it, because I'm going to come back here when it dumps like whatever, 25%, and then the next day it's 25%, and then the next day like 25%. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to be like, remember? And you're going to be like, yo, no, man, I'm up from trip 1. Why would I care about a 75% pullback? I was up 50 grand. Now I'm only up 2 grand, but whatever, do I don't mind. Okay, dude. Okay. Sell it! PRDL. Dude, I could get this page. If somebody, Moneybags Clay, asked me today, how do you not have 1 million followers yet? It's because most people either, like, I say something bad about their little stocky and they unfollow me. Or I put these videos out and I say, sell it! And they're like, no, my diamond hands show. And they get so offended and they either don't subscribe or whatever. If I was just Moon Boy, notice how it's everybody else's strategy. Why? Because it works. Because everybody in the fucking OTC is a goddamn dreamer. Everybody wants to be a millionaire overnight because, again, low IQ. They don't think, okay, like rich people do, and I'm not going to make all this money tomorrow, but if I make this money, this money, this money, this money consistently over the next 3 years, I will get to $1 million. That's how somebody with a brain upstairs works. Somebody that's just like, it's like, oh, I'm going to make $1 million tonight. $1 million. There's no other way I can do to describe their mental capacity. That's just where they're at. Now, they might be brilliant on some other scale. I don't know if they just say that or what. Like they say that people that are mentally handicapped are actually way smarter. Well, if that's the case in real life, it's not the case in the market. Because they are dumber. They just don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm sorry. So that's pretty much all I have for today. I barely pointed at the chart. I'm just, I got a lot going on. I got to go food shopping. I'm cutting weight. Been eating really healthy. Again, if you're out there and you need to lose weight, fucking lose it. What are you waiting for? I'm not going to sit here and be like, all right, now just only have 9 pieces of sausage tomorrow. Just don't eat the fucking sausage. What are you doing? Don't shop for that shit. Only have things in your fridge that even if you are drinking or whatever the case may be, you can still make something healthy and it tastes good. Get some fucking watermelon, a piece of fruit, you fucking slime ball. Stop eating the cake and the cookies. It's not that difficult. In other countries, they just don't have it at the 7-Eleven. They don't have snowballs and fucking 600 calorie little cakes at 7-Eleven with like hot dogs with bagged chili that make you shit your brains out. They don't have the access to that. All they have is real whole foods with no preservatives, and that's why you can eat cheese, bread, and whatever the hell you want, and you stay thin. Here, you have to be very selective. Even at Whole Foods, you got to pay the fuck attention. But start eating for actual function and for taste. Jesus.